Hello again. My name is Joe Richter. I'm a real estate broker and an associate broker with Keller Williams Realty in Irvine. I prepare monthly reports that look at the monthly market trends in 14 communities and market segments I call the Orange County Lifestyle Artery. This artery runs from Newport Beach out to Ladera Ranch through Irvine and Trabuco Canyon. Each report takes a focused look at a specific community or neighborhood. The goals are 1. To refine and monitor home values, 2. Define the market type as either a seller or buyer, and 3. Set reasonable expectations for how long it will take from listing your home to getting an acceptable offer and signing a contract. This period is known as days on market. This report focuses on Ladera Ranch, the single-family homes under 3,250 feet. We also prepare a Ladera report for condominiums and for single-family homes over 3,250 feet. We call our reports Current Market Trends. We're covering the full period of 2020 from January 1st through April 30th in this specific report, and I will be summarizing the changes over the past 30 days. With the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic and the stay-at-home order, I've added a new section, basically a monthly headline, and this month the headline for Ladera Ranch single-family homes under 3,250 feet is New Listings Fall Sharply. We have developed these reports over more than a decade, and they are intended to help us when we do listing presentations to help sellers understand various aspects of selling and home values and the other things to expect in the process. But it's also something a service we provide for all of our past clients so that they can monitor the value of the home that they purchased 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 years ago. When we do a listing presentation, one of the first questions we get is, what type of market is it? Is it a seller or buyer market? And in this case, Ladera Ranch single-family residences under 3,250 feet are clearly a seller's market with 1.4 months of inventory. Chapman University defines a buyer's market in Southern California as being 3.5 months or more of inventory. Another aspect we have to cover in a listing presentation is what's on the market, what's the market doing. And in this particular case, there are 21 active listings. There were 17 active listings in our last report. There have been 43 new listings over the prior 90 days. 16 of those are still on the market, and 8 of those listings came in the last 30 days during the month of April while everybody was locked up in their houses and not supposed to be leaving. Current year 2020 compared to 2019 looks like this. New listings are down 5%, contracts written are up 4%, and closings are dead even with what happened for the same period in 2019. Another one of the guidance measures that we give sellers when they're thinking of listing is there are 3 key steps to buying and selling and buying. And the first step is a new listing. That's a willing seller. The second step is getting a contract written. That's a willing buyer. And the final step is closing, and that takes cooperation from both sides to work through the issues in the contract. As stated before, new listings are down 5% on a year-over-year basis, and we are comparing in the line graph 2016 to 2019 to current year's work productivity in 2020, 2016 being the best of the prior 5 years. And as you can see, new listings just started off unbelievable. Even February would have been a very stellar month, and just continued the slide in March and April. Contracts written are doing exceptionally well. They are still up 4%, even though there has been a rather steady decline over the first 4 months of the year. A big reason for the positive news, if you will, in contracts written is January was just an outstanding month. And February was better than any of the prior 5 years, prior Februaries in the prior 5 years. So the year started off great all around the county, and Ladera was no exception. Now, we don't want to be totally negative. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have announced that they are anticipating very strong third and fourth quarters this year. That's their economic forecast for the last half of the year. And if you don't know, they are both government secured resources that buy mortgages on a long-term basis. Basically, any mortgage that is issued will be submitted to either Fannie or Freddie to be taken off the bank's hands. Closings are dead even, 54 in 2019 and 54 so far this year. As you can see, we started off okay, jumped way up, and then fell down. Every home seller wants to know, what's my home worth? Am I losing money when I sell this? Am I making money? And in this case, in Ladera Ranch, single-family homes under 3,250 feet, home prices so far this year are actually doing quite well. Year to date, they're up 2.8% compared to this last year, 2019. Currently, the average price of all the active listings is $912,000. The range on those listings is from $686,000 to $1,079,000. One of the most significant things we can watch in our 90-day trends is closings, because closings really tell what the market's doing. The close price is the market price. A seller can ask whatever they want. A buyer doesn't have to buy until they feel that there's a reasonable value for them in the marketplace. So over the last 90 days, there have been 46 homes sold. 24 of those sold below last list price, 14 sold at last list price, 8 sold above last list price. This is very normal market activity right here. There's nothing unusual about this at all. We started off talking about what type of market, a buyer or seller market, and one of the key components that goes into determining inventory and the buyer or seller market is days on market. How long it takes from doing a listing to getting an acceptable offer and writing a contract, that period of time that the home is on the market. In this case, in Ladera Ranch, all the active listings are averaging 66 days on the market. I'd like to point out that all the homes that have closed were only averaging 35 days on the market. So as you can see, there's a really big impact here on the days on market. In our prior report, 30 days ago, it was 47 days, so almost a month added to the days on market just in 30 days. So as we talk about inventory, we can point to the fact that current inventory levels stand at 1.4 months, defined on year-over-year month supply, and that's looking at how many homes have sold on average per month over the last 12 months. Now, 1.4 months is well below the 3.5 month line of demarcation, I call it, from a seller's market to a buyer's market, as defined by Chapman University. But there are other factors, leading indicators, if you will, that we need to monitor to determine where the market might also be going. Days on market is going up, and the 90-day changes in inventory levels are down 8%. That's a very normal type of fluctuation. We regularly see someplace between up 10% to down 10% on the 90-day swings. Nothing unusual there. And on a year-over-year basis, down 16%. That's also maybe just outside normal. But the April 20 to April 19 comparison being down 25%, that's a leading indicator that not many people brought their homes to market, and that's one of the reasons that inventory levels are low right now. If we'd had more people bring their homes to market, it would not be surprising to see inventory levels creeping up into the 2.5 month range. So we need to see how many people decide to sell their homes over the next 30 to 60 days, and hopefully we'll have as many buyers out there. I think we will. So by now you must have noticed we crunch a lot of data to present this level of detail. We get this data from saved searches on the MLS and put that data into our proprietary statistical models. No one else has this presentation. This map is the public-facing side of that data and is available on our website at www.joe-richter.com under a navigation tab called Predefined Community Listings. Under that tab, you will find the other, all 14 communities that we prepare this information for. And this is the public-facing information. It's dynamic, it's direct link to the MLS. If anything changes, this is up to the minute by the second. And as part of that map, we also have the listings themselves. This is a thumbnail presentation of the various listings, and you can click on any one of the thumbnails and see the detail. We encourage you to go to our website and use this as you watch what's going on in the neighborhood. If you want to think about your own prices or just be a nosy neighbor, we love nosy neighbors, and see what is going on at the home that just went for sale up the street. Now, next we want to show you everything. This is a table that shows the active listings, and then we want to show you the table of homes that have closed so far this year, and that's a 2-page table right now. And then we want to show you the closing graph. This is a graph of everything that is closed, and what we want to point out is for instance, up here, this red dot is the closing price on this home. The gray dot above it was the original list price. More than likely, the last list price, there had been a price adjustment, and so this seller had to adjust his price to come to contract. It's very common to use this graph. We encourage our sellers, as we're getting ready to price a home on a new listing, to use this graph to price their home in some relationship to this trend line. And here's a good point. A lot of people are concerned about listing too low. Well, my comment would be, fear not. See this gray dot here? This home was priced too low, and the market was strong enough that they were actually able to achieve a higher than list price here. Same thing with this one. So it's important to wisely price the home when you take it to market. And in conclusion, what I'd really like to say is we hope that you as homeowners out there watching this have gotten a better understanding of the market, and that those of you who might be considering selling have learned we have in-depth knowledge of real estate markets and trends. We know the timing, neighborhood values, and marketing strategies needed to properly price and list your home to sell. As your real estate agent, we know how to take full advantage of any market condition to help you sell your house. And for you buyers out there who are wondering where to start, you now know we have this market knowledge for all of South Orange County. We can help you identify the best neighborhood and the right home in that neighborhood for the next phase of your life. Please contact me. The team I work with would love to be of service. Thank you very much for listening.